we as a employer must know that this is an inevitable thing which will happen. People come, people go. Even if it comes with a 20-point paragraph or 20 paragraphs of how you have failed as a boss or how you could have done things better, all that just take as an advice. Just take it as an advice and that's it. If you don't have to respond to it, do not respond to it. Okay.
Building an SME is never smooth. Growth is hard, challenges are constant, and bad advice can set you back. Hi, my name is Khadijah from Accounting Superhero. As a management support executive in this company, my role is to assist the company's management and directors in the stewardship of this company. Every week, I book a one-to-one mentoring with my boss, Mr. Faz, so that I can perform better in my role. Join me as I go through a range of topics relevant with SME business owners like yourself who are keen to grow your business and ascend to the next level. Before I start, I just want to share that whatever is being shared here is based on real advice and experience from a professional chartered accountant for more than 20 years of industry experience. Mr. Faz is a no bullshit kind of person. Are you ready? Let's go! Hi, Mr. Faz. So today's topic that I would like to ask your opinion on is something I feel like every business owner will eventually face, which is an employee resignation.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, there are a few of our clients asking us this same question. So maybe I feel like the viewers also has this same question as them too. So like, how do we handle this if it's our first time? Yeah. And then because like if this is my first time getting a resignation letter as a business owner, I feel like it may be a bit overwhelming for me, and I'm sure like they will feel overwhelming too. So maybe as your experience as a business owner, maybe you can guide us through on how to handle this smoothly.
Okay, sure. But it's an interesting question. I think this scenario not just affects business owners, but it affects managers. It affects I think any leader in the company. As long as you're a reporting officer, things like this when it happens, of course, it can be quite overwhelming, and certain things can really upset you, So,
Yeah.
let's talk about it. I think there's a few things that you can do in the first place, or maybe when you actually receive the resignation letter. There's certain things that you can do lah. I would say the first thing to do is to make sure that you stay calm. Okay, stay calm and be professional, and very importantly, must acknowledge and accept the resignation letter. Okay, there's no such thing as I do not accept your resignation.
What if they don't want to accept?
There's no such thing.
There's no such thing.
Okay, so you are free to come, you are free to go. So there's no compulsion in work also. Okay, so anyone who can come and join you, anyone also they can also leave you anytime.
Yeah, that's life.
That's life. So it's important that the last part I mentioned, acknowledge and accept. And later I can go through deeper on that.
Yeah, okay. I would love to know more.
Yeah. So when I say don't get too emotional, it's because, okay, I know on the internet we hear so many things like for example, like things like people don't quit bad jobs, they quit bad managers and whatnot. There's so many things that people say. My message to you and to all our business owners out there, it doesn't matter what the reason is. Okay, people quit for many, many reasons. Don't think so much about it. But as a business owner, think of how you can better be a leader, how you can better the environment in your company, how you can actually provide a more enriching life for your employees. That will be a good improvement point. But don't have to be, so stressed and try to figure out what happened. Is it because I'm bad or whatever it is? Don't need to beat yourself up. People live for many reasons. Okay, so So be cool, and also make sure you write a reply to them to acknowledge and accept. And in that reply, please be cool and please be professional. And there are certain things that you need to actually say there, which is I will say you need to confirm the actual date of the resignation. So in the resignation letter that you receive, you need to review it lah. Really go through, read the letter, and go through it very diligently, because you need to make sure that all the important elements are there. Like for example, the date of the letter must be the date of the receipt of the same lah. It cannot be that you receive this by email and the date was say 10 days ago. Cannot lah. Okay, if you do receive that, you must respond accordingly. Okay, so that it must be the same date. Why? Because it affects the notice period.
I see.
The notice period which they indicate down there must follow the agreement which you already have. So if they say down there, okay, I'm going to work until this date, or I'm going to give you 3 days notice or something, you must go and check back what was actually agreed. Okay, there must be no departure from that. If there is, then there will be a computation you need to do lah, because it will be insufficient notice period served. Make sure that if there are anything stated, mentioned inside the resignation letter, which is ambiguous, okay, like whether or not, like you may have some equipment that they're holding on to, or you may have certain information which they're holding on to, make sure that there are no ambiguous terms. This all must be clear. They also mention what they want to do with it, or in accordance to our rules or whatever it is, must be there. Okay, there's no unclear terms. And I would say it would be good also to make sure you contact the person, or contact through the person's RO or whatever it is, through your organization. Contact the person to confirm, maybe in a soft way, before you respond. Hey, are you sure you really want to resign? Was there something that you are not happy with? You wanted to let me know first before you confirm this resignation. You may want to do it's optional. It's optional. Okay, this is usually the case when just in case if the employee acted out of emotions lah. Just in case. If you don't want to do it, it's fine.
I see.
Right? So this will be the initial things that you should do first.
So those are the basics lah. So basically, when the resignation letter is confirmed, right? So maybe a business owner have already accepted and confirmed it. So the next challenge will be the notice period. So it's either like 1 month, 2 months, or even 3 months. So what should a business owner focus on during this stage? Yeah.
Okay. Notice period should be something which you, again, it must be a very clear matter lah. Why? Because this is the period where things are handed over, right? So the employee has to hand over stuff, so that there's no work disruption lah. So what I can mention is this lah. You make sure that you go back to the contract. What was stated inside the contract? This must be the same thing which is being followed lah. However, in the first place, your contract must be something which is in accordance with the Employment Act as well. So, for example, if the Employment Act states that it should be a 2 weeks contract, a 2 weeks notice period, or one month's notice period, or whatever it is, you cannot be actually imposing something which is very far off lah. Like suddenly like 3 months, 6 months or something, which is arduous onto the employee. It must also be fair, right? So as long as that part is settled, make sure the actual notice period is confirmed. Okay, so this is something which you will need to respond to the resignation letter to state, in accordance with our employment agreement with you dated whatever date, the required notice period under clause whatever is how many days, or 1 month or something. Thereby, we wish to confirm with you that your last working day shall be what date. Okay, like Monday, what day of October 2025, for example. Right? On this day, you will hand over like that. So your response must be very, very precise.
Okay, just like the response of the business owner or the
Yes.
employer, right?
Yes.
So what happens if the staff do not follow the notice period?
Oh, that's another
Oh, that's another story.
problem.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you also need to decide whether you need them to serve out the whole entire period. So if you say yes, I want to follow the agreement says 1 month, I want them to serve, then you must mention that. And this will be your last day, that kind of thing. In the event if you do not require them to serve the whole period, then you must actually indicate that inside the letter. But take note, that doesn't mean that you don't have to pay them for it. So if you have to pay them for 1 month, just don't have to let them serve. You still have to pay them for the full month lah. Okay, these kind of things can happen. Okay, especially when there are certain sensitive positions or certain secret matters, no, or certain information which you do not want something wrong to happen. We want them to come in early, hand over everything nicely, and then let them stay at home, for example. But you still pay them up to that date, and then early release and pay, and that's it. So there's options as well lah.
I see.
Okay, things like work management, I think it has to be properly done. So always make sure that, I mean, generally as a rule, when you have employees, right, it's imperative to have covering officers lah. So there's someone who's going to cover that person's role in his or her absence. So naturally, if that person is resigning, make sure you activate the covering officers and tell them, look, this person is going off. Let's make sure that these things are handed over to the two of you, for example, in the interim before we get the next person to come in, like that. So this handover process should be done properly lah. And of course, as a business owner, you must make sure this thing is done. If not, work gets disrupted, payment gets delayed, and then things become bad lah. Yeah. Another thing I wanted to also mention is regarding business assets and also sensitive information. So like we're using tablets here, we're using laptops, we're using computers and all that. Some of these office equipment, company assets, they are being brought back home, for work from home opportunities and all that. But you need to make sure that these things are handed back to the company as well. So this must also be in your response. So for example, on your last day or 3 days prior to your last day, I would say it's best if you do it 3 days before. All company assets, including, then you list these are the things in their possession, must be handed over back to this person, the receiving officer, right? By whatever time. Okay, so very, very, very clear. Nothing imprecise. Okay, so they have to follow it, inshallah, because we don't want you to lose anything lah.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you for like explaining me like with such detailed explanation. So basically, like apart from worrying about the resignation letter and also the notice period, right? I feel like the business owner will also worry about the salary and all the legal matters inside the contract maybe. So as a business owner yourself, maybe you could guide us on this?
Sure, no problem. Okay, let me just mention that the final salary, same in Singapore and Malaysia, there is a computation to it which we should follow. Okay, we must follow. So I would suggest check out the MOM website in Singapore, and also consult your HR person in Malaysia to get that formula correct.
This podcast has been brought to you by Accounting Superhero, your trusted partner for Zero and SME compliance in Singapore and Malaysia. Switch up to Accounting Superhero today.
Okay, it's like number of days, present, that kind of stuff. There's a certain formula to follow. Use it so that the basis of computation will not be disputed by your employee, right? So that will be the core, or rather the base salary. Then of course there is whatever unutilized leave and everything which will be added to it. Just take note, there are certain things which might not require you to pay. So there are things like, for example, mandatorily there's annual leave which is unutilized, and if in the policy you guarantee like 7 days carryover or whatever it is, these are the portions which you need to pay. The portions which you may not need to pay will be excluded. Things like bonuses and all that, it is based on when it is being declared. If it's not yet declared, the person actually resigns before that, there is no bonus to be accrued actually. So if you want to give, it's up to you. If not, it's also up to you. So these kind of things must be clear in your computation lah. If not, then you'll be paying either more or less than what's supposed to be. Deductions against salaries in Singapore and Malaysia, these are regulated items, so you cannot just deduct. The person didn't pass back the key or something, minus $50 and stuff like that. Not everything you can just easily deduct. So deductions must be bona fide in accordance with the law, then you can deduct. Of course, the natural things like CPF, EPF deductions, any other things which are mandatorily required to be deducted, do it as per normal lah. That one's no issue. Okay, and last but not least, I wanted to also mention that in terms of, in Malaysia, we have the MTD, the monthly tax deduction, right? Make sure these things are taken care of. If you need to deduct. In Singapore, if you hire foreigners, and you are responsible to make sure that their taxes are actually being paid and all that. If there is, make sure you set aside an amount. I would also suggest the last salary for foreign workers, you might want to actually set aside the full amount first. Get full tax clearance, like for example, the IR21 or something like that. Get these forms done, filled up, and then the amount which you withheld, use it to pay the taxes and settle the matter first before you pay the employee the final amount.
I see.
So these are legalities and tax requirements lah. Okay, so these parts need to be done. It is very important that on the day the employee comes to hand over everything and basically this will be the last day lah, the final day, right? Make sure that you let them sit down, go through the computation of final salary. Okay, which you have prepared, ask them to go through it properly in detail, be available to answer any questions that they may have, right? Answer their questions, everything's okay, ask them to accept the computation. So my advice as an accountant would be to have a paragraph which states that I, so and so and so and so, for IC number, right? Do confirm the following, that number one, I accept the computation and everything here to be accurately derived, for example, or computed. Okay. Number two, this amount being paid to me shall be the full and final settlement of all amounts due to me from the cost of my employment in the company up to my final date, after my final date of employment. Okay. Number three, I confirm that there are no other claims to be made by me against the company. So these are three important lines to have. This is for the protection of you as an employer. Okay, so this is the part where they sign a confirmation of their final salary and everything. Okay.
So basically, these are to avoid disputes.
Yes. There's one big day, that you never pay me extra. Done. It's a done deal already. Sign everything, finish, full stop. That's it.
Because there's already signed, so they can't really say anything to us.
Yeah, I mean, just make sure you do everything correctly. But this is it. This is it. You come, you sign, everything's done, completed. That's it. Be fair, pay your employees properly, be fair, that's it. But there's nothing beyond this. That's what I'm trying to say lah. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, one question that I've always hear from the clients, right? So should we conduct an exit interview, and why is it important to do so? Maybe you can just explain more about this exit interview.
Sure, no problem. Exit interview, the whole idea behind it is to find out what went wrong. Okay, why they're leaving. Okay, so the purpose, I guess, would be to help you as a business owner to understand what's going on and maybe strengthen your processes, do something better in the company to prevent more people from leaving. That is the objective. However, if you ask me honestly, straight up, I'll tell you there's no point to do an exit interview.
Why is it so?
Yeah, the reason is because if they have sent you a resignation letter, they will have met it.
They will, yeah.
Okay, they have met it. I don't think it's appropriate for you to try to change their mind. In Even if you were to ask them what went wrong, the probability of them telling you the truth is actually quite low. Okay, it takes a different kind of employee who's really objective and open to be able to tell you straight up what is the problem here. So, exit interview to me, not really a good idea. To me. Okay, what works, in my opinion, is a stay-in interview. Stay-in interview. So
What does stay-in interview means?
Something different, right? Because I'm sure you have went through this with me as well before this. I think I've done this for many of my own team members as well. Those who report to me, I do stay-in interviews.
What does stay-in interview means, Mr. Faz?
Okay, this means I will sit down and have a chat with you to find out if everything's okay.
To like if everything is under control
If
and all
everything
that
is good. Yes. Are you happy here? What can I do to make sure you stay here? So of course, I will do this selectively, right? I won't be doing stay-in interviews for everyone. I'll be doing stay-in interviews for those who have performed very reasonably well, who I see a future in the company. I know I can lead them into I can actually help them reach a high leadership position. So stay-in interviews are important to be able to help to guide them stay on course and stay where we think they will be able to grow the best.
I see.
Yeah. So to me, stay-in interviews are more important.
Oh, it is more important than the exit interview lah.
Yes. And I think as an employee, the feedback that I get from my own team members is that they value that kind of interviews as well.
The stay-in interview.
Yes.
Okay.
Because as an employee, you hear from the boss, these are what, apart from the appraisals, this is like the boss himself or herself wants to know, whether you are happy being here. What can help you to stay here as well. That I think it goes to show that you're being appreciated lah.
Actually, Mr. Faz, I feel like there are quite a few stay-in interviews that I have done with you, but I did not realize that it was actually a stay-in interview. Yeah, I feel like it was just a process of getting feedback from me. So yeah, so that was a stay-in interview.
Yes. Now that you know, how do you feel about it?
I feel very appreciated by you. So thank you, Mr. Faz.
Most welcome. All right, good. So how I think able to manage questions from our clients in terms of resignations?
Yeah. I feel like all those key points were very helpful. So maybe is there any horror story from this?
Okay, yes, actually, with the experience that we've had in the past, I mean, there would definitely be horror stories, but I won't share with you a specific story. Okay, I'll share with you a summation. Okay, a summation of what has happened and maybe what are the things which can be avoided. Maybe some learning points here and there lah. Okay, I think the key thing here is when there is a resignation, we as a employer must know that this is an inevitable thing which will happen. People come, people go. We wish always the best for things to happen, but things don't always happen the best way.
Yeah.
And we cannot stop people from leaving also. So this is my very important message to whoever's watching today. Just be okay with it. And we need to move on from there. Okay. I do have clients who are especially in our coaching program, Masters of the Deep, when they actually face resignations, they are very, very upset. They're very upset, they're very stressed, they're very down, they cannot function for a few days. So my message for you guys, I totally feel all of you lah when these things happen. Don't think it's only the employees who feel upset. The employees also feel equally or even more upset. It's normal. We're all human beings. Okay. But the key thing is to understand and always remember that this is an inevitable thing that happens. Other than this, very importantly, you always need to acknowledge and respond. So please go through, like what I mentioned earlier, go through the email or go through that letter. Okay. Even if it was a WhatsApp message, go through it properly and you need to respond. Whatever it is, when you respond, you must respond in the most professional manner. If you only receive a WhatsApp, you must respond via WhatsApp plus your letter, which you attach inside the WhatsApp to make it official. So it must do a very proper reply. So make sure that you check the notice period, you check the dates, state any conditions you may have to, to hand over, that kind of stuff. All of these things must be very, very clear. If you are going to allow them to clear their leave, for example, you should state that as well. If you're not going to allow them to do so, you must also state as well. Okay, these are things which you need to do. Very, very important. Last but not least, in terms of horror stories, in terms of a horror story, I can say that when you receive the resignation letter, it is very important not to respond to things you don't have to. You just need to respond to confirm the resignation. That's
Basically,
it.
to just be professional and just
Yes.
accept it lah.
Yes.
I see.
So even if it comes with a 20-point paragraph or 20 paragraphs of how you have failed as a boss or how you could have done things better, all that just take as an advice. Just take it as an advice and that's it. If you don't have to respond to it, do not respond to it. Okay. So just read it. If there's anything good from there, take it. Nothing good from there, doesn't matter. Just respond to what's important, the resignation itself.
Yeah, because they might have been made up their mind, right?
Yes.
So just accept it lah.
Yes. And also, everybody has grouses. Everybody has things that they're not happy with. That's normal. We're all human beings. So sometimes they use the resignation letter to really unload onto you. These are all the things I've not been happy with you. Okay, no problem. Just take it as it is. But ask yourself, do I need to respond or not? Okay, does it help or not? If it doesn't help, don't respond. All of this can cause further problems along the way. So you must know how to just limit yourself to what's important. The response needed is to confirm and accept, or rather accept and confirm the resignation date and the notice period. That's it. Let's stick to that. Okay. So we've had clients who went through all of this with a lot of complaints, a lot of issues that they actually raised along the way. Why you do this to me? And of course the bosses feel that I've done so much for you. I give you this, I give you that, I buy for your phone a lot of things At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Whatever you've done well, good. Whatever that you think you could have done better, write it down. Do better for your existing employees. But don't get too upset.
Yeah. You can just move on and then just take down what a business owner should have improved and improve from there, and then enhance the workflow, enhance the business workflow. So basically, to sum it up, from what I learned from Mr. Faz today, is resignation is actually a normal part of business. So you need to handle them professionally to maintain a positive work culture. And the second one is to follow a structured process to ensure a smooth transition and protect your business legally and financially. The third one is an exit interview can help to improve future employee retention. But it's okay if you don't want to do the exit interview. You may do the stay-in interview, just what Mr. Faz said, so the employee feels more appreciated. So the last one is always maintains professionalism. How you handle resignation affects your business reputation. So you need to accept the employee resignation and do it in the positive way. You don't have to take it in a bad way. It helps you to move on better. I hope you find this episode beneficial as an employee and as a business owner. In the next episode, we uncover another interesting topic, moving from home base to commercial space, what to consider before renting and what you need to do. See you on the next episode. Bye.